Rockies have taken a 2-1 lead on the Mets. They won 5-2 last night. As we go to the top of the third, David Wright, Michael Conforto, and Yoenis Cespedes against Eddie Butler. Drew Goodman, Jeff Houston upstairs, joined by an old friend. I don't mean old, but a friend I've known for a long time, 30 years now. Jamie Hamilton, who I used to refer to Sam Simplesio, the late Sam Simplesio, as Mr. Grand Junction. You've been Mr. Grand Junction for a long period of time. Chairman of the Junior College World Series, and if it's baseball related in Grand Junction on the Western Slope, they go your way. How you been, man?
I'm doing great. It's great to see both of you. It's been a while. So you're looking good and doing a great job here, and it's fun to watch the Mets and the Rockies tonight. You
know what? You still look like the middle infielder you once were. You played at Regis, played professionally for a number of years.
Well, Huey made my day. He said 240 and catch the ball. If I could only hit 240, might be up your way.
Why do you think I said that? It's for me too, not just you.
Good.
You know, one of my favorite lines about that was Mike Gallego, and Gag's been a coach forever. He's now working in the Angels system. And he would tell kids, he goes, yep, I hit 230. Hit 230 for 10 years. He goes, you try to stay up here hitting 230. That takes some real talent to hit 230 and stick around as long as I did. But he could pick it. 1-2 on right. It's too tall. 2-2. So the Junior College World Series, and that's where we first met, because we tell, a different incarnation of Root Sports. We used to televise it every year, and it was awesome because people turn out every single night for that event, and you see some dynamite baseball, and it's around the corner.
Well, it is. May 28th is the first pitch, and we have teams qualifying this week, and you being a JUCO guy as well, you get that. It's pressure's going on, and San Jack is one of the top teams. Santa Fe out of Florida is qualifying, and there's lots of good things going on.
All right, at Cargo, 1 out. David Wright is retired.
Well, it's been about, 80-plus guys that have come out of the Junior College World Series at least and then make it to the big leagues.
To make it to the big leagues. Brandon McCarthy, actually from Colorado, Gruzlanic, played at Trinidad. He made it to the big leagues. Brandon Belt, in your own division, he played for San Jack in 2007. Chad Curtis, Cal Daniels, and just most recently, 2010, Bryce Harper was there, and that was a spectacle
for a while.
Yeah, that's true. You know the story. That's true.
He got ended up giving Eric Gagne, Cliff Lee, a couple of huge name pitchers.
Gagne was at Seminole. That's right.
To me, and one of the beautiful things, and we have such great baseball fans in this region, and you draw from a region. You can go over there and you catch a ball game, catch a couple of ball games, and it's packed, and it's just a great atmosphere. This ball's hit a ton to right center field. Cargo is going to give it to Deke, but he caught it. I tell you what, he's deking me twice.
He got you, didn't he?
He did. He must have got that off the end of the bat. Do you think he hit that out?
I thought he hit it better than that for sure. And Cargo has done that to us a couple times where he'll go back, and I remember Larry Walker was the guy that really started doing this off this wall. But not that time. There was no deke involved. It was just an F9. Look at it. Cargo's going back. Little fly ball. I expected right there to turn around and play it off the wall.
Yeah.
2 outs.
I have to talk to him later. It's all right if you deke the other team. You can't start deking the announcers. 2 gone, and Cespedes comes up. He lined to Cargo his first time.
Well, I just know playing JUCO ball, what it meant to be able to say, hey, we're trying to get to Grand Junction, because that's the ultimate if you're playing junior college baseball, and it's great baseball.
It is really good baseball, and what's really good is the fans appreciate it. And talking with the front office and the local ownership of the Grand Junction Rockies, the fans appreciate what you do. If you get a guy on and get him over, fans are clapping for that, and I think that's what helps these guys progress. And seeing Eddie pitch and having done that a couple of seasons ago in Grand Junction is pretty cool.
So base hit with 2 outs for Cespedes. What's the attendance record? It seems like every year you're breaking it.
The attendance record actually was set up almost 7 years ago at 131,000 over 19 games. Last year we had just under 11,000 for the Memorial Night game, where we have fireworks and recognize all the good volunteers on our committee. And it's a family event. And oh, by the way, there's a baseball game going on, and we have now 4th generation fans coming to the games, and we have volunteers doing this. It's phenomenal.
And the facility.
Well, the facility's
great.
even more.
Yeah.
You know, Simplicio Field and $8.3 million arena remodel that was spearheaded by the JUCO committee, a bunch of volunteers, and we're taking care of making that payment for the next 25 years. And I don't know that I'm going to be around that long to do that.
Yeah, you know you're going to be there. I know you will be. 1 strike on Lucas Duda, 2 out. Cespedes at first base. Rockies ahead 2-1. Why do you think, and sometimes we in a cavalier fashion say, oh, you know, great fans in this town, great fans in that town, but there is something unique, and I'm saying this from firsthand experience many times. There's something unique about the Grand Junction area. They love baseball. Can you put a finger as to why it's always resonated with them?
I'll go, guys, to some guys' names.
I'll tell you,
Buzz Bergman.
I'll tell you what we're going to do if Carr gets there. We're going to hold that. You stick around for an extra half
I'd
inning?
love to.
We'll come back more with Jamie Hamilton, more on the Junior College World Series. Eddie Butler and the Rockies ahead 2-1. Middle of 3 at 20th and Blake. Colorado Rockies baseball on Root Sports is brought to you by Subaru. Love, it's what makes a Subaru a Subaru. And by CenturyLink, your link to what's next. On an overcast Saturday evening in lower downtown Denver, the Rockies leading the Mets 2-1. Won last night 5-2. Rockies with a victory can get to 500. And in the third, it's the heart of the order. Nolan Arenado, Gerardo Parra, and Carlos Gonzalez to face Logan Verrett. Rockies got a run in the first, a run in the second. And Nolan takes a breaking ball for a strike. Jamie Hamilton continues with us. He's done so much for baseball and a lot of endeavors on the western slope. And well known in these parts from going to Regis back just a few years ago. But I had asked you, this is a base hit for Nolan. The love affair on the western slope with baseball and the origin of it.
Yeah, well, there's some great names. Obviously, again, more the hard work ethic that everybody has. But Buzz Bergman, Mesa Junior College coach in the Colorado State Hall of Fame and the Colorado Hall of Fame. But Bill Fanning, one of the most winningest coaches at Grand Junction High School. Those guys, Sam Simplicio, obviously his name and what he's done, but there's just a lot of people there. And Mesa College is a 2-year institution that helped bring Grand Junction the JUCO World Series. Really, it's just people are educated about the game, but it's who we are. It's just we want to be out there. We have people out there raking the fields and bringing tractors out when we had rain 20 years ago before we had all these new things, and people always solving our problems and make sure that the student athletes that come in have the greatest experience they could ever have.
Yeah, part of the irony is now Mesa is one of the finest Division II 4-year institutions in the country. They're always, that's a great drag bunt by Parra, and he's safe at first. Brought it with him, Huey. That was well done.
The key
Looked
is
like a young Jamie Hamilton flying up the line.
Yeah.
Fourth hitter, though.
And the key is to get that bat out in front of you. You can't let it drag behind. Get it out in front so your eyes can track the ball to the baseball. So he brings it with him, and it's instead of like when you're dropping it down the third base line, with your top hand, you have to make sure that you keep it hard on the bat. Before, it's kind of more of a soft, let the ball deaden on the bat. This time you want it to be hard as you're bringing it with you to get it past the pitcher.
Jamie made a great observation. I mean, how many times you see the cleanup guy do that? But Parr is an unconventional cleanup guy. More of a collegiate type of play.
Yeah, it's what's fun about watching him play, that's for sure.
So here's Cargo. That'd be a wonderful time to get himself that elusive RBI. It's been 16 games, and this ball's in the air to left field. It'll be handled out there by Conforto, and that's the first out. Mark Reynolds will come up. To get tickets for folks that are listening in,
yeah,
maybe here in Denver, say, you know what, it'd be a great weekend, go on over to Grand Junction.
With the remodel, we do have reserve opportunities now, and we have 900 new seats in what we call the tower, really nice, that the GJ Rockies get to use, CMU gets to use, and 4 local high schools. Bottom line, monumentalevents.com or jucogj.org. Get your tickets, come over for the weekend or come for the championship game. This year, MLB.com is going to stream the last 2 games like you used to come in and do PSN.
Right, that'll be awesome. That'll be awesome. I saw that. And it's such a high level of baseball, and the enthusiasm is second to none. One of of the things I always remember, you talk about being a family affairs, there were a lot of folks naturally focused on the field and what's going on, and all the kids had games going on underneath the stands.
Well, we like to actually say, Drew, that the 131,000, there was really only about 50,000 in the seats. Everybody else was underneath the stands playing ball or playing catch or playing wiffle ball. So but it's, again, people growing up with that fourth generation, as we always said, it's just a real special event.
I'm trying to get autographs for some of these guys too.
Yeah, well, we have those situations where when the teams are eliminated, and you'll appreciate that, these kids are asking for their hats, their jersey, their batting gloves, whatever it is, and it's really special to see those pictures of these 8, 9-year-olds wearing a hat from Potomac State in West Virginia or in Maryland, wherever they're from, but
they wear it proudly.
They do, and all through the community you can see that going on.
3-0 on Mark Reynolds. And now the bases are loaded for LeMahieu. Chance for the Rockies to gain some separation from the Mets in a 2-1 ball game. How often do you get back to this side of the
Well, now with the grandbaby, we try to get over here a little bit more, but I have some business opportunities over here as well. And as I said, Dane, who played at University of New Mexico with JP down there, they have a business with my daughter Sarah, and they have a business in Parkner. So kind of come over there and try to be a little mentor with that. But we have family over here, and it's fun to come back to. We have season tickets still because of Simplizio. We still have them down here, and people love to come over and enjoy the game.
DJ takes a strike. He rifled a single to right in the second inning to score Reynolds. Nolan a leadoff knock. He's at third. The bunt base hit by Parra. He's at second. And Mark Reynolds just walked on 4 pitches. Jinx DJ, but Verrett's one of those guys. He's typically, I know he had 8 strikeouts last year when the Rockies faced him. His swing and miss pitch is a slider, but he's not one of those guys that you really fear in an upside down count.
No, obviously he's not like a Syndergaard or DeGrom who's going to throw tomorrow. Matt Harvey, who threw last night, just doesn't have that power stuff of those guys.
Shows fastball. It's up high, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Now 2-2. Jamie, who won it last year?
Santa Fe out of Florida. And actually, they're, Northwest Florida. Santa Fe is the #1 team in the nation right now, and they're playing in their state championship, automatic qualifier out of the state. A young man that we're going to have to watch out of Neosho, Cali County, as playing at them with the championship tomorrow. A young man, 64 games, 123 RBIs.
Wow.
Named Ware is his last name, W-A-R-E. So we're hoping he gets there in that light air, see what he can do.
Ball 3. I don't care what league you're playing in. If you're not getting 2 for every game you play,
I know.
That's good T-ball.
Yeah, and he won the Triple Crown this year for the state of Kansas. So really good baseball coming out of there with
San Jack's always good.
San Jack has probably one of their better clubs this year. In my understanding, they've already had 10 D1 signees out of their sophomore class for next year.
3-2, bases loaded. Ball 4. That'll force in a run. So LeMahieu was behind 0-2, works a walk. Arenado come on down, and it's 3-1 Colorado with Tony Walters coming up.
I'll get Dan Worthen on the phone after back-to-back walks. Second RBI tonight for DJ. It was nice for DJ too, because the last 3 pitches weren't even close. You recognize that out of the hand, you just say, oh, thank you. I was down in the ditch 0-2. I'm at first base, still with only 1 out.
Tony Walters, who sliced a single through the 5.5 hole his last time up. Drove in a run yesterday. Chance to help the club some more here. 1-0. What a great story, Jamie. This kid, you were a middle infielder. You got to see this kid Pickett. I mean, he was a middle infielder, and Terry Francona, the Cleveland organization, said, "Listen, we're gonna put the gear on you." And he has, within a couple of years, become outstanding defensively. So much so, a 23-year-old kid, he makes the Rockies as a backup catcher. First time Walt saw him, he said, that guy's a big league shortstop. His actions, Huey saw him early.
Well, and he also played, I believe it was an inning, maybe 2 innings down in Arizona at second base this year in a game that the Rockies were winning. So he was out at second base.
And that's pretty special because you've seen guys try to move from the infield back there, and they just don't have that ability. And watching him, he does really control his pitching staff. So.
Yeah.
And it's a good story all the way from being gone from Cleveland and now being in the big leagues.
Yeah.
So I like it.
That's a Robles. Wenzel also pitched 2 innings last night. Up quickly here again in the bottom of the 3rd.
Stocking cap night at Coors Field. It's chilly. 2-0 on Walters. Slider and a fastball count. He got underneath the hands. 2-1. And now for the folks on the Western Slope, it's baseball about 8 months a year.
Yeah, it's really neat the way this town's kind of wrapped their arms around the GJ Rockies organization.
That's a strike, and Colorado Mesa.
Yeah, Colorado Mesa was before I just walked in here. They're in the championship game against CSU Pueblo right now to see who wins the championship of the league. They already won the regular season and a chance to host regionals next year or next week. So it'll be a pretty good story for them again.
2-2 fouled up. The other thing, Jamie, unfortunately, because of this gig, I don't get back for Junior College World Series.
Yeah, we tried to get you. We've tried to get you, but you're always working.
Yeah, I got a nice note from I believe somebody on your committee about coming in and speaking.
Right.
And unfortunately, I think we're on the road at that point in time. One of these years it'll work out. But let's get back to this pitch. I want to ask you something here in a moment about Grand Junction. 2-2, and Walters got a piece of it.
Foul ball
to stay alive. Last time we were driving through, he was coming back actually from spring training. We decided to drive back and did we're getting an argument here.
Carlos was emphatic about it being a foul ball. He came out, he popped out behind the plate, waving his arms.
Well, listen, Terry's not going to win this because it's not reviewable.
And he's already said it's a foul ball.
See if the ball moves. I don't know.
Boy, it did appear so on the Subaru Supermo.
Collins is gone. Terry Collins ejected here in the 3rd inning.
Turn his lineup card over to Dick Scott, the bench coach. One more look. It doesn't appear that Tony fouled that off. You see Carlos, he pops out of there. Says it was a foul ball. He also says it's going to be a short night for you, Terry.
So Walters gets a second life. And now it's 3-2 on Tony. All the pressure in the world's on Verrett. Just walked a run in when he lost LeMahieu after being ahead 0-2.
The batter before that, he walked on 4 pitches, Mark Reynolds.
We said earlier, his last start was April 19th. He's been working out of the bullpen, so he hasn't gone long in a while. Here's the 3-2, and it's fouled off past Stu Cole. Big at bat because you have Butler on deck. Tony knows it, Verrett knows it. Parra third, Reynolds at second, LeMahieu the trail runner. And Walters hits this a ton to right center field. And it is over the head of everybody, kisses off the top of the wall. 2 runs are scored. LeMahieu's going to get a stop sign at third. Everybody had to wait to see if Cespedes would get there. Tony Walters coming through, and the Rockies lead it 5-1.
You get a second life, and then you come through with your 4th double of the season. The fastball threat. The previous couple pitches, tried to get him out with the slider. The one that was in question was a slider. This one was a fastball right at the base of the wall. And DJ had to wait. He couldn't take off immediately because he had to wait, and that's why Tony wisely did what he did.
There's a safety squeeze, and they get the out there. It's interesting. Duda had LeMahieu hung up, and he tags Butler. And now the Rockies will get Blackman up with 2 in scoring position. How would you have played that, Huey?
Well, I'm with you, be as far down the line as DJ was, but you have to remember for Lucas, he's got this ball coming at him, he's got a base runner, everything's right in front of him, so he's just thinking, I'm going to get this guy, rather than looking at third base, because he's the important guy in this whole situation. But Lucas, he took the out instead. And I know Eddie's disappointed because that was just a safety squeeze. If he got it down not quite as hard, DJ would score the run.
There's a strike on Charlie Blackman. Saying very quickly, Grand Junction, when I went through a few years ago, I could not believe how big it's grown.
We're doing good. Our economy is not as robust here as the Eastern Slope, but just good, hard-working people, and it's a lot bigger than when you were there the last time.
2 strikes on Blackman. I know the economy will be aided by, as it always is, the Junior College World Series.
Get your tickets. That's right. You guys always do a great job of promoting it, especially during the month of May. I always hear it on your games. You're talking about Grand Junction. If you see some guy that's played in the big leagues that's been through there, you always promote us. So we really appreciate the partnership.
Well, it's a couple weeks away.
Yes,
so get your tickets. Take your family. If you're listening somewhere in suburban Denver, go on over. It's a great trip. You are guaranteed to have a blast. You're going to see a high level of baseball, and the folks are. It really is one of the most hospitable towns
And then
that I've had the good pleasure of going to on many occasions.
Yeah, and then it's just a lead-in after that to the Grand Junction Rockies season.
Great.
I mean,
Everybody's
once
pumped up.
it starts, it doesn't stop until
No.
September.
No,
Exactly
you'll be coming
right.
back. Pretty good vino over there too.
Wait,
Right?
yeah, you need to see the wineries. You need to go play some nice golf courses, and mountain biking's phenomenal.
1-2 on Charlie. Outside, 2-2. You talk about a high-stress inning. Logan Verrett's going to need a catch and a psychiatrist after this inning.
Well, I want to give him an assist too, because you got me an extra half inning with you guys, so I appreciate it.
We were keeping you anyhow. You didn't know that. 2-2 on Chuck Nasty. 2 in scoring position. And this ball lined to center field. That'll get them both home. Charlie Blackman coming through. Walters follows LeMahieu to the plate, make it 7-1 Rockies.
That's what you have to do. When you have a chance to blow a game open, you have to take advantage of it. They've done it. Tony got the second life. He doubles off the wall in right center field. Now Charlie Blackman comes through with a couple RBIs for his 13th of the season. Curveball that didn't dip enough on the Subaru Super Mode. Charlie stays through it, keeps that hitting streak alive. Now 11 straight games for Charlie.
And I think Dick Scott, Dan Worth, and there's Dick Scott, bench coach, taking over for Terry Collins. He's saying at least initially Logan Verrett's going to wear it because end of a long road trip. You still have a game tomorrow. They know what Coors Field can be like, and he doesn't want to see a stream of guys coming out of the bullpen.
But the only thing with that, though, is he hasn't started since mid-April. So, I mean, yeah, this kid might have to wear it a little bit, but there's also down the road how many pitches can he throw after only throwing an inning or two for the last month. Each time he's gone out there.
Rory takes a strike. You grew up here, and you were a heck of a player here. Did you realize, was the altitude talked about a lot when you were playing, Jamie?
No, it wasn't. That's what's kind of fascinating to me, talking with the front office personnel here and scouts. We never thought about that. Now, and I really don't want to think about that now, because it means that whatever home run I did hit back then really didn't count. So I'm really worried about that. But no, it wasn't that. You know, it was the same thing. The strong pitching that you have, good baseball. Pony League, we had a Denver All-Stars played in the Pony League World Series, and good baseball and good high school players. And so I have trouble with that, but I know it does come into people's conscious now.
Well, Huey and I talk about this all the time, and you know this to be true, having been raised here. Colorado baseball, and I think in the last 20-plus years since the Rockies arrived, the number of players this state at the high school levels producing is phenomenal. This ball's fouled off. When you consider, you know, the size of our state, the fact that it's a cold weather state, I guarantee you per capita,
well,
Colorado's
no question.
as good a baseball state as there is.
High school games, maybe they jumped it up to 23, then the playoffs, but it used to be just 19 games. I mean, we've all had slumps longer than 19 games.
And unfortunately, it still is.
It still is.
Right? Okay, there you go.
I've talked to some of my friends at Chassa. It needs to be changed.
It does need to be changed, and that's how you get better. I mean, guys that I played with that were out of high school, and I was 21, they had more at-bats all the way through their high school than I had out of the high school and college.
1-2 fouled off. I was talking to a very dear friend of mine from college who lives in Dallas now, and he said, we were talking about our kids, and his son just finished his high school season. They played around 40 games, and Colorado is capped at 19. Great state for baseball. It's got to change, especially with the weather factor. Baseball, 19's a sprint, man. 19's a little more than a football season.
There you go.
Not baseball. You got to play more.
You have to play more. Arizona, we played 35, 40 games in high school.
Now, I will say something about altitude and my golf swing. I did get to play on at altitude or at sea level. There is a difference there.
There's a difference.
It might be ability then, too.
Rockies up 7-1. 5 runs here in the third against Verrett. 1-2 on Story. Fouls off another pitch. I bet you if you look up, oh, Dougie has a sight on this. Number of foul balls hit. That kid's in the top half dozen in the National League. And I know he has some strikeouts. He also has big flies, doubles, triples. He wears pitchers out. There's quality at bat after quality at bat.
Go
on cue.
Get souvenirs for everybody.
Well, I obviously don't know the young man, but obviously know his background and what you guys have promoted with him. You can tell that he appreciates every at-bat and every chance he gets to play.
Yep.
Hugh, you had a long career, but you got to appreciate it. I mean, that's really cool.
I do, because he really hasn't wavered in his approach from spring training to today. It's the same that we saw then, the same that we're seeing now in May.
Outside. Charlie Blackman at first, by the way, since we're talking with you so much about the Junior College World Series, and it begins in a couple of weeks on the 28th. Charlie went to a junior college before going to Georgia Tech.
That actually, I wasn't aware of that.
Ryan Rayburn was drafted out of the junior college. He started his career at Florida and then transferred to a JUCO. This ball's pulled foul.
Well, when you see Batista and Albert Pujols, who are junior college guys, and something interesting enough, reading the other day on some things, technically Jackie Robinson, one of the best players ever, is Pasadena Junior College.
That's right.
And
That's right.
Before he went off to UCLA. So there's always inside stories, and then some great coaches too. Wayne Graham that was San Jack for so many years when you were covering, and went to Rice and did some great things at Rice at a very small student athlete population, but a great baseball team.
I remember because, again, San Jack would roll in there when we were covering it back on Prime Sports, and then that was a big news story then when Wayne Graham left San Jack to take the Rice job.
Yeah, it was pretty
Rice
new
was
to
power,
do something like that.
Yeah.
That's exactly right.
Terry Shumpert's son Nicholas is on that San Jack team. 3-2, base hit through the vacancy on the right side. Blackman will go first to third. How about that, AB?
Fouling 2 or 3 off to the right, couple to the left, and then shoot the hole between first and second. And that will be it for Logan Verrett, as Dick Scott, the acting manager, bench coach, is coming out to take him out of the game after this hit by Trevor Story. Off the Subaru strike zone. It wasn't on the strike zone, but he had enough plate coverage, taking it the other way. And now first and third for Nolan as we go to break.
So Verrett walks off. The Rockies have hit around. They're not done in the third. They're up 7-1. Rockies up 7-1. Trevor Story, a base hit a moment ago. He's already got a single and a double tonight. Now, Rockies fans also get tacos tomorrow with the Rockies hitting that magic number. Don't forget to go to your participating Taco Bell locations between 4 and 6 tomorrow afternoon to receive your Rockies taco special. Liv Moss at Taco Bell. Hansel Robles is in the ball game again. Yesterday he threw 2 scoreless innings. He's trying to rescue Logan Verrett. Nolan Arenado about 25 minutes ago got the rally started with a sharp single to left. And Jeff Hewson, joined by an old friend, Jamie Hamilton, talking about the Junior College World Series. Jamie's going to have to stick around. You put 5 runs on the board, Jamie. Well done.
This is fun.
And who says baseball is superstitious?
Yeah, well, yeah,
right?
We've already talked about that with the ball not being called foul or being called foul.
Yeah, and
look what happened.
Yeah.
You know how that works. So.
Yeah,
and that's a big break in this game.
It's a big break. Because,
otherwise, it's 2 outs.
That's right. A moment later, Tony Walters hits the 2-run double. This is cued to first, and this will maybe not. And they just do get Nolan, as Duda had trouble picking it up. That will end the inning. The Rockies put a 5 spot up as 10 come to bat. 7-1 the Rockies lead. Jamie, it's always great to see you. Here's the deal, though, all right? First of all, Junior College World Series, get your tickets. It's coming up in a couple of weeks. The second thing is, and I don't expect this to happen, but if we need you for a little rally later on tonight,
I'll be here.
You're on speed dial.
Okay. Thank you,
All
sir.
right.
Good to see you both. Thanks for everything.
You betcha. Jamie Hamilton, get out to Grand Junction. See the Junior College World Series this year. Rockies up by 6.